Reading actually is a fundamental human right, and by teaching our students early essential literacy skills, we are actually ensuring equity for all of our students and allowing access to all pathways. With the release of the Right to Read report, we have learned so much about how students learn to read. We have shifted from instructing in a balanced literacy method to structured literacy. And of course, our WRDSB Structured Literacy Multi-Year Plan highlights a lot of what we know goes into teaching our students essential foundational skills. We have been working to build capacity with our educators in word recognition, orthographic mapping, and sight recognition of words. We're moving into fluency and reading and all of the pieces that go into language comprehension to ultimately get to the goal of skilled reading. When we think about that structured literacy multi-year plan, we also need to honor the fact that it is surrounded and grounded in culturally responsive and relevant pedagogy. This is about removing our bias and making sure we hold all of our students to high expectations. They all have a right to read. One of the main things that I see in my role is the implementation of evidence-based instruction and evidence-based formative assessments. We're now in a place where universal screening is actually mandated across the province, and all of our SK to grade 2 students are screened regularly with an evidence-based tool. When we use that data to actually inform our instruction in the classroom becomes more surgical, so to speak. We're making sure we're using that data to meet the needs of our students and thus actually changing outcomes for students in the future. Within the WRDSB, we use the Acadians Universal Reading Screener for our students in SK to grade 6 and the DIBELS screening tool in 7 through 9. The whole point of universal screening is early identification. When educators can pinpoint reading difficulties for our students in a timely manner, we can mitigate those risks for our students. Universal screening also allows our system to evaluate the effectiveness of our practices in the classroom. One of the most important things that we need to recognize when we're thinking about universal screeners is that they help us to see if students stay on track with reading benchmarks as they progress through skills and through grades. When we go back and reassess a second and potentially a third time in each school year, we can see if students need extra support, if we need to change our instructional practices in order to keep them moving towards meeting their goals. Within the WRDSB, educators across the system are seeing the use and the powerful nature of these reading screeners and using them as they're designed to inform their teaching.
We are in a time of exciting transformation in education as we reimagine literacy instruction across our system at the Waterloo Region District School Board. Even before the release of the Ontario Human Rights Commission's Right to Read report, we've embraced a necessary shift in how we teach reading. This is not a checklist. It's a dynamic, responsive, and evidence-based instructional approach that empowers educators and supports every learner. Together, we are opening pathways and changing lives for our students at the Waterloo Region District School Board.